What's up, world? It's Thursday? Hecka stormy and gloomy looking outside. I'm out here in traffic. Lightning, thunderstorms. Should be at work in about 15 minutes according to GPS and whatnot. But anyways, three's a charm. Something I've just kind of been observing and studying, and to give you guys hope on why you should never give up. Because the third time is a charm. So one of the things I've been observing over the years, here in January I've been married 10 years. I watched my parents, live over 20 years of marriage, and, many friends that I'm real close with, just talking to them about their marriages, observing the different stages, just things like that. Hopefully you guys can still hear me over all these raindrops flashing on my car. So I believe that there's three stages. You go through, first stage is more like your honeymoon stage. You meet this individual, you guys get married. Sometimes that marriage is legal, sometimes it's not. But a marriage happens. A marriage is a bond between, two individuals coming together. Now, a lot of times, sex is what you use to seal that bond. We may use words, we may use our, affection, our time, and things like that to support that bond. But, sex is usually the first thing that, completely seals that bond. So once you make that bond with that person, you go into a marriage. That's the way I look at it. You go into this marriage. And what this marriage does is basically make the two become one. A lot of, people who, study the Bible or, look at it from a legal perspective. That's the way the law looks at it. That's the way the Bible looks at it. These two individuals are becoming one. You're joint in everything, ultimately, even though you're still two individuals. So basically what ends up happening is you go into this marriage, usually it's good. It starts off pretty good. You meet this person, you fall in love, you're crazy over them, you think they're awesome. And it feels like you're just ignoring all the bad qualities about them, but really you're not. What happens in that first phase is, the two individuals are very conscious in that relationship. And it's storming like crazy. I can't even see in front of me. But the two individuals are very conscious. They're very aware. They're constantly, they're at their best. And then over time, that best kind of starts to fade off. Another bridge. That best starts to kind of fade off, and then you start to see that individual, as you would say, for who they really are. And really, it's just their blueprint. Not necessarily who they really are. It's just the blueprint that they've been given, that they've accepted about themselves, about life. And so life goes on. I don't want to make this video too crazy long or whatnot. So life goes on, your marriage, some things start to get a little tough. But, in that first phase, that first marriage, you can still push through things because you still got these feelings for this, this woman, this girl, this guy. You still got these feelings that you're feeling, and it keeps it alive. And a lot of people don't make it. They divorce, they break up, whatever it may be. A lot of people don't make it through that when that first marriage starts to get hard. For those who do make it through that first marriage, you actually end up entering a second marriage. Some people divorce, they leave and go be with another person. Some people renew their vows, they make a new commitment to each other. That things are going to be different. So you enter the second marriage. A lot of times the second marriages the worst marriage. Well, at least it feels like. Actually, what the second marriage does is it exposes all the stuff that you didn't pay attention to in your first marriage. All your crap, your issues, things that you didn't overcome, becomes exposed in the second marriage. Your partner sees it, you see it more than ever before, and you start to realize some things that, man, maybe I actually could have stuck with that first person if, I would have just changed this, or things would have been different this way. Tricky part about these multiple layers of marriages, especially for a couple who decides to stay together, is that, you may go through that change in your marriage, but your partner hasn't yet entered that second marriage. And so it gets a little tricky. And that's why the second marriage is the worst, because if your partner entered it before you did, or they haven't entered it yet, you guys are seeing life differently. They may still be in that, honeymoon phase where they're in love with you and they're crazy with you, and, you're realizing a lot of crap about yourself and, about them. You're in that realization state. But, the thing I learned in life, for those individuals who can push through the second marriage, get to enjoy the beauty of the third marriage. And hopefully your mate is in the third marriage at the same time. Hopefully you're not with someone who's going through that first marriage, while you're in your third, because they still got a lot of lessons to learn. It's gonna, while you, yes, are in the beauty and the joy of your third marriage and being very enlightened, they are not. So right now, personally, I'm in that second marriage, man, where I'm realizing so much about myself, where I thought I was so awesome, I thought I was so perfect, I thought I was the perfect husband, all these things, where in my eyes, yes, I was, and I am. But at the same time, you have to help your partner understand you that way, and for them to see you, because bottom line, you're two individuals coming from two totally different backgrounds, so you have two totally different perspectives on life. And so during the second marriage is where you begin to pretty much merge your beliefs and your backgrounds, and all that stuff begins to really merge into one, which is why it's so painful and so hurtful and so confusing and so exhausting. Second marriage is tough. So a lot of you may be entering a second relationship. You may be getting back with somebody you used to be with. You may be, married and still with that individual, but you've renewed your vows, whether it's within yourself or with your partner. Like you're in that second phase. That second phase is the toughest. Stick through it, because if you can stick through this, you'll get to see the beauty on the other side. My dad is in his second marriage. Technically third, because while he was married, he went through his second phase, and the second phase was hard for him. It was tough, and it was very confusing. So he decided to eject out of that marriage, which really, if he would have just waited through it, things may have been different. But that's me signing out. About to be at the office. Peace out.